Hi class, this is a short video on how to look at one example of a literary analysis using the four elements: passion, ideas, structure, and exploration. At the beginning of this literary analysis, we see that the author uses passion because he talks about his experience he had with the author of the novel, Stephen King. He also shares how he didn't know about Stephen King and the stories he has written. So that's part of his passion that he shares in his analysis. As he continues talking about his experience in this paragraph, we also see that he talks about the structure of the novel. He gives us an explanation about the story. It's a short summary of what the story is about without spending too much time explaining the story. This helps the reader understand what the story is about. At the same time, the writer explains the structure of the novel he is analyzing. In the same paragraph at the end, the writer states his main ideas of the analysis. In other words, this is the thesis. The writer will talk about the main character, Joe Camber, and that is the main emphasis of this analysis. A side note here. Notice how the thesis comes later in the analysis after the writer explained to us his experience with the novel and his personal connections with the author. Continuing with the analysis, further down we notice a specific quote from the novel he is analyzing. This is an example from a long quote that the author uses to support his explanation. Notice he is still analyzing the main character, Joe Camber. After he provides the quote, he explains his understanding of how important this quote is for him. He also talks about his reaction when he read this quote, so he makes reference to the points on ideas and passion. Finally, we notice in the conclusion that he shares what he loves about the structure and the ideas he sees in the novel. This is a very effective way of concluding his analysis without giving too much summary. In a way, he's explaining to us his exploration and his experience with the novel. I hope this helps you a little bit in understanding how you can use the four elements in your analysis. If you still need help, do not hesitate to contact me.